All right. Well, obviously, I already know your name, Darrel, but what's your name and where are you from?
Hello, everyone. This is Darrel Raynor, and I live in Northwest Austin on Lake Travis temporarily. We just sold our home and are downsizing and looking to be a little bit more mobile, do a little bit more traveling. So that's where I am now.
Great. And what do you do and what are your business goals with what you do?
Right. So I have a full-time government agency executive position for the offshoot of the Department of Education in Iowa, although I'm located in Austin. And as part of that, I have an agreement that I can do consulting on the side, as I have done for 30 years in IT and other types of business process, transformational change, running large projects, things like that. So what we strive to do now is sit on boards, be an advisor, also run large projects as a project executive part-time, and put people in place, boots on the ground, to execute those usually strategic, usually transformational change types of projects.
Got it. Okay, great. And so who's the best type of customer for that business or mentee or person to receive those types of advisory services?
Right. So depending upon the type of project, I've helped several people form startups. I've joined startups as a COO, CIO, CTO. I run my own firm all the way up to JP Morgan with hundreds of thousands of employees around the world. So it's really an executive with a problem or an executive that wants to grow and knows they have experience gaps and can bring me or us in. I've run HR departments, facilities, operations, IT. I've managed marketing and sales, and what you get with me and others from our consortia is an objective, candid set of recommendations that you can either have us help you implement, you can choose not to implement, you can implement on your own, and keep us at the advisory level if you wish. So it's really an executive with a problem from startup to large company.
Okay, that's great. And so sort of a similar question here, but what kinds of outcomes could clients or mentees hope to see from collaborating with you?
Well, the outcomes are successful implementations of a change strategy, whatever that might be, right? And along the way, we've also provided recommendations on a huge palette of different areas to complement an executive team's or just a single executive, their areas where they are not experts, right? Like in the current client that'll remain nameless, we found two things. We found fraud, and we found that they were in violation of several federal compliance and state compliance regulations, and we helped them fix the fraud, first of all, right? Stopped all that. And then we helped them become compliant in their industry. They weren't really aware of certain things they needed to do, right? So that's a relatively small thing. We're also moving their business to all digital. And it used to be all paper-based. It's a small firm. And with some of the big organizations, what they get is a huge productivity jump if they implement our recommendations across the board, right? Like at JP Morgan, we helped implement Agile across 20,000 employees. That's a 5-year deal, right? We helped for 3 of those years and got out. We raised up other coaches and scrum masters and Agile minded executives to fulfill that through. I didn't want a job at JP Morgan.
Sure, sure. Wow, that's great. That's great outcome information. Thanks for that. And so last but not least, how can people find out more about you?
Well, you can certainly connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Darrel Raynor. Fancy that, right? You can also get the email address that Chris, I believe you're going to post in Slack. And you can, the best way to reach me is email or text. I don't answer phone calls if I don't know who's calling. So that's a tough one. My number's out there so much that I get dozens of calls a day. And if you don't leave a message, you'll never get a call back. And you won't catch me if I don't recognize your number.
Got it. Okay, well, that's great. So I'll post your email address and your LinkedIn in Slack, and that way people can follow up with you one-on-one.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you.